Good morning students. In previous class we have learnt chemical equilibrium. So now we shall discuss ionic equilibrium. Ionic equilibrium. So what is ionic equilibrium? Equilibrium involving between ions. Equilibrium involving ions. That is called ionic equilibrium. So before entering into our topic, that is ionic equilibrium, some new terms are introduced in this concept. That is, those are electrolytes versus non-electrolytes. Okay, so Faraday, who was a scientist, classified the substances are two types. So one is electrolytes, the second one is non-electrolytes. So what is the electrolytes? The substances which conduct electricity, those substances are called electrolytes. Which conduct electricity. Which conduct electricity, those substances are called electrolytes. The substances which do not conduct electricity, those substances are called non-electrolytes. Conduct electricity. Do not conduct electricity, conduct electricity. That is the difference between electrolytes and the non-electrolytes. So example for electrolytes: acids, bases, salts. These are example for electrolytes. Example for non-electrolytes: sugar, glucose, like this. Okay, so general example for salt, those are NaCl. So we can understand briefly. So whenever salt is dissolved, salt means table salt, NaCl. Salt is dissolved in water. What happened? This solution can pass or can allow electricity. So that's why these substances, which substances, NaCl is called electrolytes, and this solution also nothing but, okay, so this solution called electrolytes. Next, for example, sugar. Whenever it is dissolved in water, do not conduct electricity. Do not conduct electricity. It is a conduct electricity. So that is the example for the non-electrolytes. So what happens here in non-electrolytes? Do not conduct electricity. The substances which do not conduct electricity, those substances are called non-electrolytes. Whenever the substances which conduct electricity, those substances are called electricity. So best example are acids, bases, salts. And the best example for non-electrolytes, sugar and glucose. So here the conduct electricity is responsible for the free ions NaCl. And so the more information you will study in electrochemistry. Okay, electrolytes and non-electrolytes. In this chapter we will discuss just the substances are classified into two types based on the conduct electricity. Okay, so those are electrolytes, no non-electrolytes. Next, which scientist can classified electrolytes non-electrolytes? Faraday. So the Faraday again the substances, those are electrolytes, further again classified into two types. One is electrolytes, further again classified into two types. So one is strong electrolytes, next one is weak electrolytes. Okay, strong electrolytes and weak electrolytes. So in strong electrolytes the substances dissociate or ionize 100%. That is a simple symbol like this. Okay, here the substances which ionizes 100% or which ionize completely. Here what is that? Less than 5%. The substances which ionize less than 5%, that indication partially ionization substances are called weak electrolytes. Completely ionizable electrolytes are called strong electrolytes. So best example for weak electrolyte, that is a acetic acid. Acetic acid, okay, partially dissociate into ions, H plus ions, acetate ion. Okay, so here what happened here? There is a equilibrium between the undissociated electrolyte molecules and the dissociated ions. So this type of equilibrium is called ionic equilibrium. Which type of? In weak electrolytes, the substances which are dissolved partially. So in that substances equilibrium will be established. That equilibrium is called ionic equilibrium. So we can conclusion that here we will study weak electrolytes, because in weak electrolyte equilibrium will be established. So our topic is also ionic equilibrium. That means the equilibrium will attain between the undissociated molecule as well as ions. So firstly we studied ionic equilibrium involving ions. Okay, so this is ionic equilibrium. General definition or generally understanding the concept of ionic equilibrium. So now further again very important concept, that is acids, bases and salts. Understand the acid, bases and salts in this very important acid base concepts. Acid base concepts. Okay, so before the entering into our topic, some general acids in our daily life. Okay, so our stomach containing the HCl acid, that is hydrochloric acid. Our stomach containing small amount of hydrochloric acid, and lemon juice containing the citric acid, and orange juice containing the ascorbic acid, and ants release formic acids, vinegar containing acetic acids, tamarind containing tartaric acids. Okay, so these are acids. These are acids. So we are seen in our daily life. Okay. So some general, how can identify the acids? Sour tastes. Acids having sour tastes. It can change blue litmus paper into red litmus paper. It can change the blue litmus paper. That litmus paper is available in our chemistry laboratory. So whenever you want to determine the acids, just take a test tube, and we take an acid solution, and dip the litmus paper, blue litmus paper, very important. That blue litmus paper can change red litmus paper. So now we can easily identify that solution is a acidic solution. Okay, and another one is, what is the sour taste? Acid substances having a lemon having a sour taste, we can easily identify it. So now bases having a bitter taste. Bitter taste. Next, it can change red litmus paper into blue litmus paper. Blue color. Red litmus paper can change into blue color. Okay, here is also blue litmus paper can change red color. So that's why we can identify that solution is a basic solution. So generally we can determine acids and bases, but here some theories are derived. Okay, so let's we see first theory, that is Arrhenius theory. Or Arrhenius concept. What is the definition of acid and bases according to Arrhenius concept? So Arrhenius concept is applicable for only aqueous solutions. The substances whenever the substances, for example, the substance whenever dissolved in water, it can produce H plus ions. That substances are called acids. So dissociate the acids. What is the definition of acid? Dissociate into in water to produce H plus ion is called acids. Bases dissociates in water to produce OH minus is called bases. So according to Arrhenius concept, we can easily identify the acids and bases. The substances which whenever dissolved in water, it can produce the H plus ions. It can produce the H plus ions is called acid, or it can produce the OH minus ion is called bases. But here some demerits are there. Okay, it is applicable for only aqueous solutions. Some acids, carbon dioxide, sulfur dioxide, which are acids. So whenever these substances are dissolved in water, it cannot produce the H plus ions, but these substances act as acids. So that is the demerits of Arrhenius theory. Next, ammonia can act as a base, but whenever the substance is dissolved in water, it cannot produce any H plus ions, but it cannot produce any OH minus ions, but it can act as a base. Okay, so these are the demerits of Arrhenius concepts. That's why another theory will be introduced, that is Bronsted-Lowry. Bronsted-Lowry concept. Okay, so according to this concept, if donate the H plus ions, the H plus ion donor is called acid and H plus ion acceptor is called base. So it is a very important theory, because here this theory can explain the carbon dioxide acidity and sulfur dioxide acidity, and next basicity of ammonia. So that's why it is very important, or it is more comfortable than the Arrhenius. Okay, so here what is the acid? H plus ion donor is a acid, H plus ion acceptor is called base. For example, general example here, HCl solution is dissolved in water. It can partially dissociate into hydronium ion plus chloride ion. Here HCl is act as a acid, Bronsted-Lowry acid. Here water act as a base, because here HCl, hydrochloric acid, can donate the H plus ions to water. Okay, that's why it act as a acid. Our theory is also H plus ion donor. So in which one is H plus ion donor? It is a H plus ion donor. That's why it is called acid. And water is H plus ion acceptor. So after accepting the H2O, it can converted into H3O, hydronium ion. That's why it is a base. Base means H plus ion acceptor. Acid means H plus ion donor. So now we will write H plus ion donors. And H plus ion accept. So now here next one is conjugated acid and the conjugated base. Conjugate acid, conjugate base. So now what is the conjugate acid and the conjugate base? It is a very important. Next one is conjugate acid base, conjugated acids and bases. So this pair is called conjugate acid base pair. So now what is the definition of conjugate acid base pair? The acid base pair which differ by only one proton. What is the definition? The acid base pair which differs by only one proton. Here what is the difference between these two pair? It is an acid. HCl is an acid. It is a base. So how many protons are differ here? Only one proton differ. Loss of one proton, it can converted into Cl minus, chloride ion. If chloride ion accept one proton, it can converted HCl. Okay, so this pair is called conjugate acid base pair. So example, another pair is taken, that is NH3 ammonia and NH4 ammonium ion. So here is also, if accept of one H plus ions, accept proton, okay, accept of one proton, it can converted into NH4 means ammonium ion. Is a loss of, okay, here loss of one proton, it can converted into ammonia. So this pair is called conjugate acid base pair. Conjugate acid base pair, because this pair which differs by only one proton. So in two pairs, how many protons are different? Only one proton. So that pair is called conjugate acid base pair. And here we named as another example here, H2O, H3O. H2O is differed by only one proton. Accepting of one proton, it can converted into H3O. For example here, accept of one proton or loss of one proton. Loss of one proton, H3O, hydronium ion, loss of one proton, it can convert H2O. If accepting of one proton, this H2O accepting of one proton, it can converted into H3O, hydronium ion. So this pair is also called conjugate acid base pair. So now what is the names? We take example HCl. So now HCl is a conjugated base, conjugated acid of base. And chlorine minus, we can call chlorine minus is a conjugated base of HCl. How many pairs here? HCl, Cl minus. So HCl is a conjugated acid of chlorine and Cl minus is a conjugated base of acid. Okay, next pair, NH3. NH3 is a conjugated base of NH4 and the NH4 plus, what is the, it is a conjugated acid of base. So general we can say that plus indication acid, minus indication base. Sometimes neutral molecules also having the lone pair of electrons, we can act as a base. So now we can say that H2O is a, so accept of proton means base. So H2O, we can call the H2O is a conjugated base of acid and H3O is called conjugated acid of base. And sometimes H2O is act as a acid and bases. OH minus. In this situations, accepting of one proton and the loss of one proton. Loss means it acts as a acid. H2O is a conjugated acid of base, OH minus ion. Okay, and OH minus is a conjugated base of acid. So in this H2O is act as a acid. In these situations, it is a accept of one proton means it acts as accepting of one proton means base. So simultaneously sometimes, so H2O is not simultaneously. So here in these situations H2O act as a both acid sometimes and act as a base sometimes. Okay, this is a acid conjugate acid base pair. Carefully observed here, some examples are given. So you should tell me. Okay, H2O, bicarbonate, HCO3 minus, bisulfate and ammonia. These are the species. So these are accepting of proton as well as loss of proton. Okay, if accepting of proton, it is converted into H3O, hydronium ion. So accepting of proton, it acts as a acid. As well as sometimes loss of proton, it converted into OH minus. Okay, so here is also accepting of H plus ions, it converted into add one hydrogen, it means H2CO3. If the loss of loss of this proton, it is converted into CO3 minus 2 because loss of one hydrogen. So here add one proton, not hydrogen, proton, we can call it proton, add one proton, it is converted into H2SO4. If the loss of one proton, it converted into loss of one proton is SO4 minus 2. Next, add of one proton, it is converted into hydronium ion. Loss of one proton, it is converted into NH2 minus. So these are species, act as a acids as well as bases. So this pair and this pair this pair is called conjugated acid base pair, because in this pair one proton which differs. Okay, here is also one proton which differs. That's why these all pairs are called conjugated acid base pair. So a simple trick, not will try to sorry not it will write always, but it can easily understand with the compound containing the positive charge. We can conclude that we can determine as a acid. With the negative charge, we can consider as a base. If the atom containing the lone pair of electrons, we can consider as a base. Okay, so these are simple notations to determine the substance, either acid, base,